This video is about a alpha loved the forbidden girl and lost his throne. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung low, a silvery beacon amidst the tangled branches of the ancient forest. Its glow illuminated the glistening dew on the leaves, shimmering like stars fallen to earth. The Eldergrove Pack's territory thrummed with life, and yet it was cloaked in tension that crackled like the air before a storm. As the alpha, Kale's heart beat in rhythm with the pulse of the woods. He stood on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a valley where his pack made its home. His pack was strong, proud, and fiercely loyal, but his chest bore a weight heavier than any crown. The pull of his wolf was fierce, throbbing with an instinct that demanded to be satisfied a need for his mate, the one who would complete him. But fate had twisted its strands cruelly. His mate was no ordinary woman. She was Lena, daughter of the rival Pack's alpha, forbidden pawn destined to stir chaos in his life. Gale, the voice of his beta, Rowan, broke through his thoughts, filled with urgency. "We need you back at the gathering. Tensions are rising among the packs." "Let them rise," Kale replied, his voice a low growl. "I will not bow to their demands, not when I am bound to someone beyond my control." Rowan stepped closer, eyes gleaming with concern. "You know what the council said. If we show weakness now, we lose everything. You need to distance yourself from her." Kale's fist clenched, the very thought igniting a blaze of anger. "You think I haven't tried? Every instinct in me screams for her. I want to abandon what the moon has chosen for me." The air grew thick with tension, the shadows of the forest creeping closer as twilight deepened. Rowan's eyes shaking his head. "Just remember, Kale, love has a price, and it is the throne you may lose." The mere idea of losing Lena had sent shivers down his spine. She was an enchanting spirit, wild and free, with laughter that danced like sunlight through the trees. Her wild hair framed her face like a halo, and her eyes sparkled with mischief and defiance. Damn the council, she was worth every risk. As Kale made his way back to the Pack's gathering, he caught sight of Lena out in the distance, her silhouette outlined against the moonlit sky as she practiced her archery. She was a warrior, skilled and determined, yet still bound by her father's expectations. The weight of their worlds threatened to crush them both. "Lena," he whispered to himself, a prayer almost. "If only I could make them see." With a final glance toward the cliff, Kale strode forward, forcing himself to focus on the pressing matters of the pack. The council was assembled, a circle of ancient wolves with eyes like cold steel, and the air was thick with uncertainty. Alpha Kale, one of the elders, began, his voice a rasp. "We must discuss the growing tensions with the Blackthorn Pack. They've made it clear they won't tolerate your distractions." Gale's jaw clenched. "This is my pack, my reign. I will not cower before them because of my heart." "Yet your heart leads you into a dangerous game," another elder chimed in. "To love the daughter of your enemy is to invite destruction. You risk all we have built." Kale held his ground, taking a deep breath. "I will not reject her. I will not turn from my mate." A murmur rose among the elders, and Kale could feel eyes narrowing in judgment. He stood tall, fierce, resolute. What kind of alpha would he be if he turned his back on love? The pack needed strength, and that strength began with him. "Then you must choose wisely," Bryn warned. "You cannot have both. Love or leadership, what will it be?" As the council continued to debate, Kale's thoughts drifted back to Lena. He could see her, fierce and unyielding, the very embodiment of wild freedom. The taste of her lips lingered like honey on his tongue, a forbidden sweetness. That night, as the moon rose high, he slipped away from the Pack's gathering, his heart calling him toward her. He found her beneath the great oak tree, a sacred place where their destinies intertwined. "Lena," he breathed, stepping into the moonlight, his heart racing. The air crackled with magic as she turned, her expression shifting from surprise to warmth. "Kale," she said softly, a smile breaking over her face like dawn. "What brings you here?" "I had to see you," he murmured, closing the distance between them. "I can't fight this anymore. We redestined, Lena. I can feel it." Her eyes flickered with uncertainty, and his heart sank. "But your pack, your throne. You know they won't accept this." "They don't matter. I would tear down the entire world for you." Lena shook her head, pain flickering across her features. "And what about my father? I can betray him, Kale. He has done so much for me. I was raised to be his heir, to unite our packs, not tear them apart." "Is that what you want?" he asked, his voice strained. "To be someone else's pawn?" "I want to protect you. I want to protect my people," she said, her voice trembling. "But I can help how I feel. I love you." The admission struck him like a lightning bolt. "Then let us fight for it, together. We can change everything." "But at what cost?" Lena whispered, tears pooling in her eyes. What if our love means ruin for both our packs? You'd lose your throne, your family, everything. Do you think I care about a throne? His voice was fierce, raw with emotion. All I want is you. You are worth every sacrifice. She stepped closer, the scent of wildflowers enveloping him, and for a heartbeat the world faded. But the weight of their reality came crashing back, and he could see the flicker of fear in her eyes. Please, Cale, she pleaded. We must think of our people. Damn the people, he shouted, the words echoing through the stillness of the night. They are nothing compared to the bond we have. I won't let anyone come between us. The air between them crackled with energy, a fierce longing, and yet the shadows of doubt loomed large. I can't lose you to this war, she whispered, her voice breaking. And I can't lose you, Cale replied, his heart aching with the weight of their circumstances. We'll all find a way. We were meant to be. But deep within him, he felt the threads of fate tightening, weaving a path that whispered of challenges and heartbreak. Perhaps love was never meant to be easy. Unbeknownst to them, danger lurked in the shadows. As they stood beneath the ancient oak, entangled in each other's arms, the future loomed dark and uncertain. Destiny was not finished with them yet. As dawn broke, heralding a new day, the world felt charged with possibility and peril. But for Cale and Lena, their hearts beat as one, a promise of love that could either save them or shatter their worlds. Together, Cale whispered, as he held her close, the dawn light casting a warm glow around them. Whatever comes our way, we face it together. Together, Lena echoed, and for a fleeting moment, all seemed right in their turbulent world. But the path ahead was shrouded in shadows, and choices would be made that would test the very fabric of their love. The war between the Elder Grove and Blackthorn packs was only just beginning, and with it, the storm of their intertwined fates. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting the Elder Grove territory into twilight, shrouding Cale and Lena in a veil of soft shadows. They stood beneath the ancient oak, the whispers of the wind weaving through the leaves like secrets yearning to be heard. I should go, Lena said, her voice barely above a whisper, the burden of her heritage heavy in the air between them. If my father finds out, it could escalate everything. Cale's heart clenched at the thought. And what about us? What about this? He gestured between them, the distance in her eyes igniting a flicker of desperation within him. We can't just pretend it doesn't exist. Her gaze fell to the ground, pain etching deep lines across her face. I wish it were that simple. My father's vision for uniting our packs is bigger than us, Cale. He believes it as the only way to ensure peace. Peace or control? Cale's frustration bubbled up, the very idea that her father would prioritize power over love igniting a fire in him. You read more than just your father's pawn, Lena. She took a step back, hurt flashing in her eyes. And what am I supposed to do? Disobey him? Turn my back on my family? I've been raised to protect my pack, to be a bridge, not a rift. Then let me help you build that bridge, he implored, reaching out, but she stepped further back, the space between them growing as palpable as the tension in the air. Don't shut me out. I want to stand by your side. Do this. That's easy for you to say, she spat, a hint of tears shimmering in her eyes. You're not the one who would lose everything. You don't understand the weight of responsibility I carry. Cale's chest tightened, the truth of her words striking him like a dagger. What if I want to share that weight with you? What if that is what love is about? Lena shook her head, tears spilling over. Love can conquer tradition, Cale. It can change centuries of hostility between our packs. Then we'll make our own tradition, he shouted, frustration spilling over. The moon chose us for a reason. We were meant to change the course of our destinies. But at what cost? She cried, voice cracking. I can't be the one to bring destruction upon my pack. I can't let them suffer because of my heart. Lena, he murmured, stepping closer, desperate for her to see the depths of his conviction. If we don't fight for this, then what is the point of living? What will it matter if we don't have each other? She closed her eyes, struggling to hold on to the remnants of her composure. I don't want to fight you, Cale. You re my heart, my everything. But I also can't betray my father. I can't be the reason everything falls apart. The moon rose high, bathing them in silver light, illuminating the stark reality of their choices. With a shaky breath, Cale grasped her hands, their warmth mingling, grounding him amidst the chaos swirling around them. This is bigger than either of us. Our love can be the catalyst for change. We can unite our packs. Lena opened her eyes, searching his face for a flicker of doubt, but all she found was unwavering determination. You really believe that? You think we can just overcome years of hatred? I do. I believe in you, in us, he replied, his voice low and steady. But we need to confront the council and your father. We need to show them that we are not a threat, but a promise of hope. Kale, she breathed, her heart wavering. Will you stand with me? Tia asked, urgency lacing his tone. Will you fight for what we have? A heart race, fear and longing battling within her. If we do this, we may lose everything we hold dear, our packs, our families. Then we fight for them, he insisted, his grip tightening around her hands. We can be the change they all need, together. The weight of his words hung in the air, a promise woven with desperation and hope. Slowly, she nodded, determination igniting within her. Together, she whispered, though uncertainty still lingered at the edges of her resolve. Their moment was abruptly interrupted by a low growl, and they turned to see Rowan standing nearby, his expression a mix of concern and apprehension. Alpha, we need to talk, he said, his voice tense. Kale's heart raced. What is it, Rowan? Rowan stepped closer, urgency etched in his features. The Blackthorn pack has gathered at the border. They're remaking threats, planning to confront us. They know about you and Lena. Lena's breath hitched, panic flooding her senses. What? How? Who told them? Does it matter? Rowan snapped, his loyalty to Kale pushing him to be forthright. We need to prepare for battle. If they approach us with hostility, we can TAPOEQLL need to establish your authority. Kale's heart sank. No, I want to let it come to that, not with Lena here. But Kale. No, he interrupted, the fire within him igniting. I will not choose violence, not when we can reason with them. I need you to trust me. Rowan hesitated, uncertainty flickering across his face. And what if they don't reason? What if they attack? You can risk the pack's safety for her. Kale's voice was fierce. It is not just for her, it is for all of us. I refuse to let fear dictate our actions. I will stand with Lena, and we will face them together. Lena's heart swelled at his words, but the weight of reality pressed around her like a vise. Kale, if it comes to violence, I can bear the thought of you getting hurt. He stepped closer, his eyes piercing into hers. You re my mate, Lena. I will fight for you, for us. I refuse to let anyone dictate our future. Suddenly, a howl echoed through the trees, chilling the air. It was filled with rage, a sound that sent tremors through Kale's chest. They were here, he muttered, the urgency palpable. Kale, please, Lena urged, gripping his arm. We need to be careful. If they see us together, it could ignite a war. Then let us go, he said, determination in his voice. We'll face them head on, they need to see the truth. As they moved toward the pack's gathering point, the tension in the air thickened, a storm brewing on the horizon. The Blackthorn wolves stood at the border like shadows, their eyes gleaming with challenge. Kale stepped forward, his heart racing but his resolve unwavering. What do you want? He called out, the authority of his voice ringing through the forest. The Blackthorn Alpha, a hulking figure with furs dark as night, stepped forward, eyes narrowed. We want what is rightfully ours, Kale. You've crossed the line by pursuing the daughter of my pack. She is not yours to claim. Kale felt Lena tense beside him, but he held her hand tightly, grounding them both amid the rising tension. Lena is not the prize to be won. She is my mate, and I will not let anyone dictate our bond. The Blackthorn Alpha's eyes blazed with fury. You are a fool to think you can defy the traditions that bind our packs. You will pay for this insolence. Step back. Kale commanded, a growl rumbling deep within him. If it is a fight you want, then let it be a fight for peace. We can end the cycle of hatred. You dare to lecture me? The Alpha snarled, his pack behind him, poised for an attack. You've brought shame upon your pack by courting her. You will regret this. Kale's gaze flickered to Lena, who stood resolute beside him, her eyes steady with determination. We will not back down, he declared, voice steady. This is our choice. We will not let your hatred dictate our future. Rage crackled in the air, and the tension thickened, a palpable force threatening to erupt. Kale felt the instinctive pull of his wolf, urging him to protect what was his. We are destined to unify our packs, not destroy them. Can you not see that? The Blackthorn Alpha's lips curled into a snarl. You think you can change centuries of enmity with mere words? This will end in bloodshed. Kale's heart raced, adrenaline surging through him as he braced for the inevitable clash. But in that moment, he glanced at Lena. He saw her fear, her hope, and the strength that had drawn him to her from the very beginning. Lena, he whispered it together. With a deep breath, he stepped closer, determination coursing through him. If you choose to fight, then let it be for something greater than hatred. Let it be for love. The air fell silent, the weight of his words hanging heavily between the two packs. Lena's. Kale stood at the precipice of a great divide, the tension between the Elder Grove and Blackthorn packs coiling like a serpent ready to strike. His heart raced, adrenaline coursing through his veins as he faced the dark figure of the Blackthorn Alpha, his breath steady despite the chaos brewing around them. "Let us not be driven by hatred," Kale implored, his voice resonating with a strength that echoed through the forest. "We have a chance to forge a new path, to turn the tide of centuries of animosity." The Blackthorn Alpha's eyes blazed with fury, a storm brewing in his chest. "You speak of unity, you, who dare to court my enemy's daughter. You think love can erase bloodlines?" "It can," Kale replied fiercely. "It can heal wounds that have festered for too long. We are not enemies. We are bound by a connection deeper than any feud. Lena is my mate, and I refuse to cast her aside." Lena's grip on Kale's hand tightened, her heart racing as she felt the weight of the moment. She exchanged a look with Kale, a silent conversation filled with fear and longing, and she knew this was the moment that would define them. "Gale," she said softly, her voice trembling. "Please be careful. This is dangerous." "I won't let them hurt you," he promised, eyes fierce and unwavering. "Not now, not ever." The Blackthorn Alpha let out a derisive snarl. "You think I fear your empty declarations? You've brought this upon yourself. I will not allow my pack to be sullied by your reckless love." Kale could feel the tension crackle in the air, like the charged atmosphere before a storm. He sensed the wolves behind him, their loyalty and fear intertwining in a potent mix. Rowan stood to his side, his expression grim, but he stood firm. "We will not back down," his bitter firmed, voice low but resolute. Suddenly, the air shifted, a low growl reverberating through the trees as the Blackthorn wolves shifted their stance. Kale felt the ground beneath him tremble with anticipation, a primal instinct urging him to safeguard what was his. "Let us settle this with reason, not violence," Kale urged again, desperation creeping into his voice. "Our packs have suffered enough. If you choose to attack, it is not just our lives at stake, but the fate of our entire kind." "Your words mean nothing," the Blackthorn Alpha replied, his voice dripping with disdain. "You are a fool to think you can defy tradition. I will not let you have her. Is it so hard to believe that love can change our fates?" Kale pressed, his heart pounding in his chest. "We don't have to be prisoners of the past. Together, we can reshape our destinies." "Enough of this," the Blackthorn Alpha roared, baring his teeth in a fierce snarl. "Your defiance ends now." And with that, the tension shattered like glass. The Blackthorn wolves surged forward, a wave of fur and teeth, and careless instincts kicked in. "Protect Lena," he shouted, pushing her behind him, the primal urge to shield his mate overwhelming. The clash of bodies echoed through the forest, a cacophony of snarls and yelps as the two packs collided. Kale fought fiercely, his wolf taking over as he defended the ground, but his thoughts were consumed by Lena. He glanced back, ensuring she was safe, the sight of her standing behind Rowan igniting a fierce determination within him. "Stay close," he shouted, lunging at a Blackthorn wolf that tried to flank him. He felt the rush of adrenaline, the exhilaration of battle coursing through him, but his heart ached with the fear of losing her. Lena watched the chaos unfold, her breath hitching as she saw Kale throw himself into the fray. "Kale," she cried out, her heart pounding as she felt helpless. She wanted to join him, to fight alongside him, but she knew she was a target. She glanced toward Rowan, who kept a watchful eye on her. "Protect her, Rowan," Kale yelled, feeling the heat of the battle close in. Rowan nodded, his loyalty unwavering, as he kept close to Lena, blocking any potential threats from breaching her defenses. Amidst the chaos, Kale caught glimpses of Lena's resolve. She was fierce, not carrying away from the fight but standing strong. Yet with every wolf that fell, a part of him broke. This can't be the end, he thought, forcing himself to focus on the fight. In those moments, the truth of their bond pulsed through him, a tether connecting them even amidst the chaos. Kale could feel her strength and fear, the mixture of both fueling him. He fought with everything within him, every leap and swipe of his claws fueled by the love he had for her. But as the battle raged on, he noticed a shift. The Blackthorn wolves, emboldened, began to gain ground, and Kale felt an overwhelming surge of dread. "Rowan," he shouted, desperation lacing his voice. "We need to fall back." "No," Rowan shouted back, his voice strained. "We can't show weakness, we have to fight." Kale's gaze darted to Lena, who stood watching, the fire in her eyes a stark contrast to the fear threatening to consume him. Before her, he reminded himself, the thought driving him forward. He charged into the fray again, pushing back against the tide of enemies, his heart racing. Suddenly, a piercing howl filled the air, one that sent a chill down Kale's spine. It was a call that resonated deep within his soul, and he paused, glancing around, trying to decipher its meaning. He could sense a shift within the ranks of the Blackthorn wolves, a realization dawning upon them. The Blackthorn Alpha had fallen back, his eyes narrowing as he surveyed the battlefield, the realization dawning that their initial assault might not lead to victory. Kale seized the moment, roaring, "This ends now, we will not be bound by your hatred, stand down." His voice rang out, echoing through the trees, a declaration that seemed to resonate with both packs. To his surprise, some of the Blackthorn wolves hesitated, glancing at their alpha, uncertainty flickering in their eyes. Lena's heart raced as she saw the hesitation. "Kale," she shouted, taking a step forward, her voice gaining strength. "This is our chance, we can change this." Kale felt a surge of hope as he turned to her, their eyes locking in an unspoken understanding. "Lena," together, he called, urging her to step beside him, the bond of love and destiny igniting between them. The Blackthorn Alpha glared, rage boiling over as he rallied his remaining wolves. "They are playing with your loyalty, do not falter." But Kale felt the connection between their packs shifting, the weight of their shared history pressing against them. "We are not enemies," he shouted, his heart pounding as he extended a hand toward the opposing pack. "We can unite, we can heal." Lena moved to stand beside him, her presence igniting a flicker of courage within the Blackthorn ranks. "Love can conquer fear, we can end this cycle together," she urged, her voice cutting through the tension. The air grew thick with uncertainty as the wolves processed the implications of their words. Kale's heart raced, the moment teetering on a precipice. He could feel the pull of fate urging him forward, a wave of energy enveloping them as the moon bathed them in its silver light. And then, one by one, the wolves began to lower their heads, a sign of surrender flowing through the air. Kale could hardly believe his eyes. The tide was shifting, the possibility of peace hanging delicately in the balance. But just as hope began to bloom, a betrayal unfurled. From the shadows, a rogue wolf, an outcast from the Blackthorn pack, lunged forward. Rage twisted his features as he aimed for Kale, a desperate attempt to reignite the chaos. "Kale!" Lena screamed, her heart lurching as she realized the threat. In a split second, Kale acted on instinct, turning just in time to intercept the rogue. They collided with a bone-crunching force, grappling in the dirt as they fought for dominance. Kale felt the sharp sting of claws on his side, but he pushed past the pain, driven by the need to protect Lena and their dream of unity. "Run!" he shouted at Lena, his voice strained as he struggled with the rogue. "Get to safety." "No, I want to leave you," she yelled back, determination blazing in her eyes. But Kale couldn't allow her to be caught in the crossfire. "You must," he urged, his voice raw. "We need to secure our future, find Rowan." As Lena hesitated, the rogue broke free, lunging toward her. But Kale's instincts kicked in, and with a final surge of strength, he threw the rogue aside, sending him sprawling to the ground. "Get back," he roared, but the damage was done, the chaos reignited. Lena's heart raced as she saw the rogue rise again, fury lighting his eyes. "Ill." Forest pulsed with tension, a living, breathing entity watching the clash between packs unfold. Kale felt the ferocity of the rogue's attack surge through him, the adrenaline igniting every sense. He had faced many foes, but this one held a personal vendetta, and that made it all the more dangerous. "Lena, go." He shouted again, his voice layered with desperation as he grappled with the rogue, twisting and turning as claws swiped dangerously close to his throat. "You have to get out of here." "Meth?" Lena cried, her voice a wild mix of fear and defiance. "I want to leave you. I want to let them take you from me." Kale's heart swelled at her determination, but the primal instinct to protect her burned even brighter. The rogue managed to push him back, delivering a brutal blow to Kale's side that sent him staggering. Pain shot through him, but he fought through the haze, eyes locked onto Lena. "Run!" he roared once more, feeling the shadows of doubt creeping in. If anything happened to her, the hope of their future would be extinguished, and he could not bear that thought. In that moment, the rogue lunged again, a flash of claws aimed directly for Lena. Kale's instincts kicked in, and with a primal roar, he hurled himself between them, feeling the sharp sting of claws tear through his flesh. The pain was searing, a reminder of what he fought for, their love, their destiny. "Kale!" Lena's scream rang out, a sound that pierced through the chaos and wrapped around his heart. He turned to see her, face pale, eyes wide with fear and fury. "Stay back, Lena," he shouted, struggling to regain his footing. The rogue, emboldened, lunged again, but this time Kale was ready. Channeling every ounce of strength he had, he tackled the wolf, sending both of them careening to the ground. The world around him faded as the fight consumed him. He could hear the sounds of battle raging behind him, but all that mattered was the rogue, the threat that loomed over Lena. As they rolled in the dirt exchanging blows, Kale felt a surge of energy bubble within him, magic threading through the air like silver mist. "Lena," he shouted, "get to run, he will protect you." Tears streamed down her face, but she nodded, fear twisting her features. "I wouldn't let them take you," she cried, but he could see the flicker of acceptance dawning in her eyes. "Promise me you will go," Hale shouted, gripping the rogue by the scruff of his neck and throwing him aside. "Promise me you will live." With a final, desperate gaze, Lena turned and sprinted toward the trees, the moonlight casting a silver glow against her retreating form. Hale felt a heavy ache in his chest at the sight, but he pushed it down, focusing on the fight before him. The rogue scrambled to his feet, snarling with fury. "You think you can protect her? You real fool, Cale, you've brought this upon yourself." Cale lunged again, adrenaline coursing through him as he locked eyes with his adversary. "I will protect her, no matter the cost." The declaration ripped from him, a vow forged in the fires of love and resolve. The rogue charged forward, but this time Cale was ready. He sidestepped, using the rogue as momentum against him, and knocked him off balance before delivering a powerful blow that sent the rogue crashing to the ground. Cale stood over him, chest heaving, a growl rumbling deep within his chest. "This ends now," he roared, but as he prepared to strike, another howl echoed through the forest, a sharp, piercing sound that silenced the nearby wolves. The Blackthorn Alpha had re-entered the fray, his presence suffocating the air with a newfound rage. "Cale," the Alpha bellowed, eyes blazing with wrath. "You've made a grave mistake by standing against me and pursuing my daughter." Cale turned, his heart racing as he faced the embodiment of his greatest fear. "This is not your fight," he shouted, defiance surging through him. "You've lost sight of what this is truly about." "Lost sight?" the Blackthorn Alpha sneered. "It is you who cannot see. Your love for my daughter is a betrayal of her bloodline, and I will not allow it." "You think tradition matters more than love?" Cale shot back, stepping forward, his wolf asserting dominance. "Love is stronger than any tradition, stronger than hatred. You will not tear us apart." With a roar, the Blackthorn Alpha lunged, but Cale was faster. He dodged, anticipation sparking the air, claws ready to strike. The two wolves clashed, their snarls echoing through the night as the battle surrounding them continued to whirl in chaos. Cale felt the weight of the world pressing down on him, but each moment he fought, he felt Lena's presence beside him, infusing him with strength. He fought not just for himself, but for their future, for the love that ignited a fire within him. In a flurry of fur and teeth, Cale managed to push the Blackthorn Alpha back, but the elder wolf was relentless, his experience fueling the anger that surged through him. "You think you can change centuries of hatred," he growled, recovering and launching another savage attack. Cale dodged, but the Alpha was relentless, forcing Cale to defend himself while he searched for an opening. The ache in his side throbbed like a warning bell, but he couldn't falter, no, not when Lena was out there, believing in him. The tide of battle shifted, and Cale heard the howls of his pack rallying behind him. Rowan's voice rang out, urging the Elder Grove wolves to push back against the Blackthorn forces. "Stand strong," he roared, his loyalty unwavering. "We will not let fear dictate our lives any longer." With a surge of hope, Cale lunged at the Blackthorn Alpha, tapping into the bond that coursed between him and Lena. "You want to fight?" he shouted, determination etched in every word. "I will not back down. I will fight for my mate, for the love we deserve." As their bodies collided once more, it felt as though time itself had slowed. Cale could feel the weight of destiny in that moment, the magic of the moon bathing them in ethereal light. With a final push, he summoned every ounce of strength, channeling it into one decisive blow. The Blackthorn Alpha staggered, eyes wide with disbelief. "You think you can win?" he gasped, the realization settling in that perhaps love was indeed stronger than hatred. "Yes," Cale cried, heart racing as he took advantage of the moment. "We will unite our packs. We will break the chains of tradition that bind us." But just as victory seemed within reach, the rogue wolf returned, a vicious snarl on his lips as he lunged for Cale. "You cannot escape the consequences of your choices," he howled, unleashing a torrent of fury. Cale barely had time to react. The rogue collided with him, throwing him off balance and sending him crashing to the ground. Ain shot through him, but it was the sight of Lena that fueled his fire. She was fighting alongside Rowan, her spirit unyielding. "Lena," he shouted, struggling to rise, but the rogue pinned him down, claws sinking deeper into his flesh. "Et back." "No, I want to leave you." Lena yelled, eyes ablaze with determination as she broke free from Rowan's side, charging toward him. "Lena, no!" Cale's voice was raw, desperation clawing at his insides as he fought against the rogue's hold. "Stay back, it is too dangerous." But Lena was undeterred. I will not let them take you from me, she cried, her voice a fierce echo of love and defiance. With a final surge of strength, Cale managed to throw the rogue to the side, wrestling free. He felt the warmth of Lena's hand grasping his, a lifeline that pulled him back into the fight. They stood shoulder to shoulder, hearts pounding in unison. Together, he panted, reaching for her, their fingers intertwining. We can do this together. The rogue lunged again, but this time Cale was ready. With Lena at his side, their bond amplified, fueling the fire within them. They moved as one, a seamless connection of love and ferocity, pushing back against the darkness that threatened to engulf them. Now, Cale shouted, his voice ringing with urgency. Together, they launched forward, determination guiding their every move. The air crackled with energy, the bond between them weaving a shield against the chaos as they deflected the rogue's attack. With a final, decisive blow, Cale and Lena struck together, sending the rogue sprawling to the ground. Forrest seemed to hold its breath in that moment, the tension shattering as they stood victorious, hearts racing. But victory was not without a cost. The Blackthorn Alpha, sensing the tide turning against him, let out a howl filled with rage. This is not over, you will pay for your insolence. Cale felt the weight of those words, the threat hanging in the air like a storm.